And moving on to business news, Oahu single-family home sales jumped 52% in April, according to the latest report out this week by the Honolulu Board of Realtors. The last-minute surge for the home buyer tax credit helped boost Hawaii's real estate industry last month. Condo sales soared by 48%, but prices for both homes and condos fell. And joining us right now is our real estate insider, Scott Higashi, Vice President of Sales for Prudential Locations. Scott, always good to see you.
Morning.
Good to see you. And happy, good news for the local real estate industry, or what does this all mean?
Really good news for the local real estate industry. When you see sales jump that much, what we're really seeing in April is, in order to qualify for the government's tax credit, you had to have a signed contract into escrow by the end of April. So there's no question that had a big contribution to the pace of sales in April. So that's why you're seeing the numbers you're seeing in terms of number of sales into escrow. One of the things that folks are asking about, though, is why did prices go down?
Right.
And that's not surprising either, because when first-time home buyers are making up a lot of the market, their average sales price is generally a little bit lower. It's their first home. They're qualifying for a little smaller mortgage. And so it's not unusual to see in the mix of homes that were sold in April a lower price point. The prices going down in April is not at all an indicator that values have gone down. In fact, quite the contrary.
And they really actually didn't go down that much either.
They didn't. And so really what you're seeing is in the mix in April, you saw basically the mix of homes that were sold and the mix of condos that were sold, maybe in the lower price points, but that doesn't mean values were dropping.
But as far as home sales and condo sales, this isn't something we're likely to be repeating anytime soon in the months to come. It was really just because of this tax credit and the deadline.
Well, one of the things we're going to be monitoring in May and certainly beyond in the summer is whether there was pent-up demand in the market and whether that pent-up demand will last in terms of the number of sales going forward. What we do know is in the months leading up to the end of the tax credit, a lot of folks were actually competing for homes and couldn't get one.
Wow.
And so there were multiple offers. There's a lot of competition for the listings that were out there. Inventory levels were really low. So perhaps in May what we'll see is some of those folks who were trying to buy a home and were aiming for the tax credit but won't get it will still go in because they've already qualified. They know that buying the home is better than paying rent. They've already gone through most of the process. So maybe with a little less fervor out there, they'll be able to get into something.
And talking to local real estate agents, just as a whole, the cycle in home sales, usually it's the second half of the year when things heat up anyway.
That's right. Generally speaking, in our market, the summertime is really when things get busy. Folks are out of school. They have a little more time to look for homes. And generally, seasonality-wise, the summer is really when we see a lot of activity.
Last question, just as an economic indicator, what is the real estate market looking like right now as opposed to what's happening in general in our economy here?
Well, one of the things that we're seeing is, the volatility that you see in the other markets, and certainly in the equities market, you don't see in real estate. There's kind of this stability that's out there, and a lot of that did have to do with government stimulus. So we're going to be monitoring that really closely. But overall, what we do see is this kind of this trough effect. We're not seeing anything dramatic up or down, and that's kind of expected.
And that's good news.
It is good news.
A little stability.
No question.
Never hurt anybody. All right.
No question.
Scott Higashi, of course, of Prudential there. Really appreciate you coming in.
Sure.
We'll see